Over 10 years ago, we noticed a disturbing trend in some of Boston's neighborhoods. Abandoned buildings were attracting crime and drug activities, encouraging disinvestment and lowering the quality of life for residents. First, we conducted a survey of our abandoned buildings to get some good, hard data. Then, we looked at the data we collected and found that most of these buildings were in fact privately owned. We contacted the owner and encouraged them to fix up their buildings. Some did, either using their own money or a combination of private capital and city funds. Also, the House of Shame. We went and put signs on people's property in the neighborhoods, but also we took pictures of their homes in suburban communities, beautiful suburban communities with the big lawns, and put advertisements in their local papers and put it on TV to embarrass them to fix up the property they owned in the city. And that's a way of getting them to understand they have an obligation. Yeah, they could live in this rich, beautiful suburban community, but they better take care of the property in the city of Boston. As technology has given us more tools, we now post information about the properties on the city's website so the potential developers can contact the owners directly. Sometimes these properties are held by an estate. People just need a little bit of push.
It's time for us to stop looking at abandoned buildings as a liability, but look at it as a true New York City asset.
We reduced the number of housing units by 77% that were abandoned in the city of Boston. That's important. We've got to continue to. We do that every year, take a look at what the property is, and my goal is not to have any abandoned property in our city. We shouldn't be in the real estate business. We're in the people's business.
I think the difficulty when we talk about some of the neighborhoods where abandonment is very, very high is, well, why is it? And the reality of it is that jobs.
I'm wondering, given what we found in Manhattan, right, real estate ground zero, and yet we found 24,000 potential apartments in vacant buildings and lots, which at the time when there are 9,000 families in homeless shelters, 7,000 singles in homeless shelters, and the city estimates 3,000 or 4,000 homeless people living on the street. So that's under 24,000. You could house every homeless person in the city in Manhattan alone.
And we need to reform that system so it's proactive. We plan for growth in ways that put communities in the front.
We have young people in the Midwest, in Iowa and Montana and places like this. They wake up in the morning and they say, I got to get out of here. I want to come to where the action is. I want to put my brain power in New York. And imagine if they can't come to our island or this city because of $1 million entrance fee.
Why don't elected officials get involved in housing? Because we all want the next day's headlines. It takes a little longer to build housing than we elected officials would like to think. It takes us maybe years to develop some of the ideas we have because of zoning, neighborhood issues, financing issues. Need leadership. The executive of the city or town must be involved. I'm involved in the process. You've got to have executive leadership in this, and it has to be one of the programs you want to make work for your city because it's important. It's about stability of those neighborhoods.
Just to quickly say that, this event underscored three things that the Drum Major Institute believes in, if I may. One, that reality is the best place from which to make public policy. So the first thing you do is you count what's there. And two, you change the conversation by changing who participates in it. And it couldn't be emphasized enough, the role of communities in formulating a new vision for their neighborhoods. And three, it's about leadership. And, disconnected agencies aren't going to make it happen. You need a leader who is willing to. And that's what Mayor Menino talked about and is.